Your Excellency, Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim, Prime Minister of Malaysia, Dr. Wan Azizah, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's my great pleasure to welcome Prime Minister Anwar on his first official visit to Singapore since taking office as Malaysia's 10th Prime Minister. Of course, the Prime Minister is no stranger to Singapore. He's worked with many of us for the better part of 3 decades. Indeed, the Prime Minister and I go back a long way. We first met when we were ministers, and we've stayed in touch ever since. I last met him when he visited Singapore in 2018. He came for the Singapore Summit, where his speech was warmly received. He told the summit that if and when he assumed the premiership, Singapore would be one of the first countries he visited. And I'm therefore very glad that today Ho Ching and I are able to welcome Prime Minister Anwar and Datuk Sri Wan Azizah to Singapore. Our two countries share a relationship quite unlike any other. They are bound by geography and our shared history. Our peoples have deep family and cultural ties. The Causeway and the Second Link are among the busiest border crossing points in the world. Over the years, our two governments have deepened our cooperation in almost every domain. We work together in health, education, culture, supply chain, connectivity, and many other areas. On trade, we are each other's second largest trading partners. Singapore is the largest foreign investor in Malaysia with over $56 billion in direct investments. This reflects our confidence in the Malaysian economy, including the can-do spirit and enterprise of many young and digitally savvy Malaysians. During the COVID pandemic, the Singapore-Malaysia partnership stood up to the test. Our ministers and officials kept in close touch to exchange notes, support each other, and coordinate plans. Even as supply chains across the world were disrupted, people and goods continued to flow safely and smoothly between Malaysia and Singapore. And I'm glad that our borders are now fully reopened. Friends and families on both sides of the causeway can visit each other freely. Businesses can plan and operate more predictably. And when the Johor Bahru-Singapore Rapid Transit System link, the RTS link, is completed in 2026, travel between our two countries will become even easier. I'm happy that our two sides continue to work closely to advance bilateral relations for mutual benefit. Prime Minister Anwar and I had a fruitful discussion earlier, including on how we can make progress on outstanding bilateral issues. We also witnessed the signing of 3 MOUs, which will promote cooperation in new and emerging areas, specifically on the digital economy, the green economy, and cybersecurity. As close friends and neighbors, the destinies of Singapore and Malaysia are intertwined. When we work constructively together, we produce win-win outcomes with tangible benefits for our peoples and businesses. I'm confident that with Prime Minister Anwar's support, Singapore-Malaysia relations can reach greater heights. Let me once again thank the Prime Minister, Dr. Wan Azizah, and the Malaysian delegation for visiting Singapore. I look forward to meeting the Prime Minister again soon, including welcoming him back into Singapore later this year for our annual Leaders Retreat. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, may I now invite you to join me in a toast to the good health and success of Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim, to the continued peace and prosperity of Malaysia, and to the enduring friendship and cooperation between Singapore and Malaysia. Cheers.